I fully believe that writing is a skill that can be taught. However, there is stuff that is just like vibes, which is harder to teach for sure. Pacing is one of the most vibes part of writing that exists. Oh, the pacing's too slow, the pacing's too fast. Like, there's no hard and fast rule, which makes it kind of difficult to both give as a critique and to adjust for when you're the writer. Basically, it's when you're reading this, do you feel a little bored or do you feel a little confused? If you feel a little bored, like things are taking too long, then the pacing might be too slow. If you're feeling a little confused, like you're getting too much information at once, the pacing might be too fast. Keep in mind that this is not just, is stuff happening, because you can do, for instance, an action scene that is really slow pacing even though a lot is happening. Weirdly, it can happen. You can also have a scene where the pacing is really fast even though not much is happening. That can also happen. It's different than that, and it's kind of hard to explain. So instead of trying to explain the inexplicable, what I'm going to do is give you tips on how to speed up and slow down pacing if you're getting those kinds of notes. If your pacing is too fast, my number one tip is add dialogue. Dialogue happens in real time. More or less, the reader will read the dialogue at the speed at which it happens in the narrative story. For instance, hello, he said, how are you? You're going to read that at about the same speed that the person would say, hello, how are you? So that's a good way to slow down pacing and ground it in reality. Adding more descriptions can help slow down pacing, describing the scene, the setting, using props, my favorite tip. Also adding thoughts, not necessarily like italics thoughts, but just like how are the characters feeling in this moment? Add sensory details, just more generally. So those are good basic ways on how to slow down fast pacing. If your pacing is too slow, first of all, consider, does this scene have to exist? The classic waking up with an alarm, getting ready, getting dressed, getting out the door, getting to school when the story doesn't actually start until lunch. Maybe just cut all that stuff, start at lunch. Is there too much dialogue? So the opposite side of the coin there, you could cut dialogue. Or instead of cutting it completely, you can skim over it with sentences like, Marissa and I talked about XYZ for 6 hours, instead of walking us through that 6-hour conversation. Take this with a grain of salt. Sometimes you need that discussion, but if you don't really need the details, you can skim over stuff. Same with skimming over the walk home, or things like that, transitions. End a scene. Instead of showing us he took a left and then a right and then he drove for 6 miles, just be like, he went home. Great, now we're home. You might cut down on the descriptions, you might cut down on the extras that aren't really needed. Of course, syntax plays a role, so like shorter or longer sentences, depending on the type of pacing that you're looking for. Same with the size of paragraphs. If you want to get real poetic, you could do the sounds in the exact words can give it like a slower or a faster pacing. Staccato, legato. I'm out of time. There's so much to